So Jesus makes it clear that if I'm not connected to him, I am guaranteed no fruit. He says it very clearly. Abide in me and I in you, as a branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine. Neither can you unless you abide in me. I brought a branch. Look, if we all work together, do you think we can make this branch bear fruit? No, you could tape like an apple to it or something, and make it look like, oh, no, look. And I feel like we do this sometimes. We work so hard, but man, this branch it's got no chance. Okay? He can try like nothing's going to happen. And Jesus says, that's how ridiculous you look when you're not with me. You're not abiding in me. And you're just out working. You're going to labor in vain. You're going to try all this stuff. And you're going to think. And you're going to talk to all these people with all these different strategies. But I promise you, if you're not abiding in me, you're not going to have any fruit that lasts. No real fruit's going to happen. So everything depends on this. But then he says in the very next verse, he goes, I'm the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me, and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. So then there's a guarantee. Okay, see, this is what I'm saying. Don't stress out about all these other things. Jesus Christ, these were his words. He guarantees. He says, if you abide in me, he is the one that's going to bear much fruit. Look, I struggle with this. I'll see people on the earth doing amazing things, and I'll start thinking, man, maybe I did it wrong. Maybe I should have done it like him. Seems like he's accomplishing more. Seems like she's accomplishing more. We'll look at all these people everywhere, and we start trying to follow all these patterns instead of just going back to, wait, God, you promised if I just abide in you and you abide in me, I'm guaranteed to bear fruit. Are you abiding in Jesus today?
There's so much instability, so much that we don't understand, that we don't know. For me, growing up, it was, a lot of you guys know my mom died giving birth to me. Then my dad remarried. Then my stepmom died in a car accident when I was 9. Then my dad got married again. Then my dad died of cancer when I was 12. And so I'm in junior high. My mom's dead. My stepmom's dead. My dad's dead. The only close relatives I had were my aunt and uncle, George and Sandra. And then when I was in high school, they got in a fight, and my Uncle George shot and killed my aunt, and then stuck the gun to his own head, killed himself. So I'm 16 years old, and this is life to me, going, man, what's next? Everything seems to be falling apart, and we get a little worried, we get a little scared. And this is what Christians do, they try to serve God, but then things get a little rocky, and things get a little unstable, and so we go, okay, that was nuts. I don't want to live like that. Let me hold on. And this is your routine. This is what so many people do. They go, you know what? I'm not going to try anything crazy. I'm just going to sit here, and I'm just going to hold on. And this is what you look like. You just go, this is what people do. You know what? I'm just going to have my nice little family. We're just going to, we're just going to keep to ourselves. We're going to live in a gated community. I'm going to homeschool my kids, make them wear helmets everywhere. I'm going to, I'm not going to let them outside because sun has bad rays. I'm going to, just on and on and on. And you just live your life in the safety of, I don't want to do anything crazy for God. I just want to, go to church on Sundays and maybe give like 2%. And maybe help the nursery because I feel guilty. And then you do this your whole life. And then you go, your greatest prayer is like, God, you know what? I would love to die in my sleep and not even feel it. And then just go up to heaven. And so you want to die like this. Just in your sleep, right in the middle of a dream, good dream, the dream you're going to heaven and you don't even feel it, and then suddenly you wake up, you stand before the judge and you go. Now, if, could you imagine watching the Olympics, And some girl does that, just gets up there, starts straddling the thing, and then steps off and goes, what is the judge supposed to do on the card? You see, and to me, I go, man, that's the routine that so many Christians are headed for. That's the routine, the boring, I do nothing crazy because I don't want to fall. That's the routine that they're going to live, and then one day it's going to be a shock because they're going to step off that balance beam and realize they're standing before the judge. They're standing before the judge, and you think he's going to look at that routine and go, wow, well done. Well done. You lived the safest life possible. You didn't slip. You didn't fall. See, that's not the life that God's called us to. That's where the majority will head, but I don't want to go where the majority goes.
And I was reading about it this week, and it was explaining that the shape of this galaxy we live in it's like a pancake. It's like this big pancake with a bulge in the middle. And yesterday when I was making breakfast, I made a little replica of it. This is not to scale, okay? But it's this whole idea of, okay, if this were our galaxy, that's pretty good, huh? Put a little golf ball in there and flipped it. Okay. If this were our galaxy, this is so fascinating. Okay, there's no, not even a chance that I could make a speck visible to the human eye to show us our whole solar system. Okay, there's no way that you would see our whole solar system, our sun, everything within this galaxy. Because you know how big this is? A light year. Okay, a light year is traveling at the speed of light. The speed of light is 186,000 miles a second. Think about that. 186, if you could go 186,000 miles in 1 second, that's fast. 186,000 miles in a second. That's a light year. No, that's a speed of light. A light year is traveling at 186,000 miles a second for a whole year. Imagine how far you would go. In 1 second, much less 1 year. That's a light year. Do you know how long it would take to get from one edge of our galaxy to the other? 100,000 light years. So to get from this edge to this edge, you would have to travel at 186,000 miles per second for 100,000 years. And you just go, what? That doesn't make any sense. That's how long it would take to get from one edge to the galaxy to the other. So imagine how fast you would pass the Earth within the first fraction of a second, as the Earth is just a few thousand miles in diameter. I mean, you can't even measure that within a second, and you're going to travel for 100,000 years at the speed of light to get from one edge to the other. There's no way you would see our Earth, that our Earth is buried in this somehow. And the last scene where I showed you were all those galaxies. Do you know how many of these things are out there? They're estimating about 350 billion. 350 billion galaxies, and we're buried as this tiny planet inside of one of these. And God says, I've set my glory above the heavens. Are you fascinated by what I made? You should see me. The God who created all of this. See, and it blows me away how people will walk in here and think they're big. Are you kidding me?
you.